After finishing the last Bond movie, I wanted to try and find something that I've never done before. And I kept reading scripts, and there was nothing that I wanted to do. And eventually my agent and Pippa, who's producing this movie, said, why don't you just write your own script? And I made a lot of fuss about, I don't write, They said, just try. My grandfather used to tell us stories of the First World War. And when I sat down to think about it, I thought, that's the story I want to tell. So then I brought on Christy Wilson Cairns, who, unlike me, is used to writing page one, scene one, and not freezing.
There's no ego with Sam. He knows what he wants, but he lets you change his mind. He's a complete genius collaborator.
This film was very much Sam's passion project. It's a thing that he had in his mind for a number of years, and Christy Wilson Cairns was able to get that out of his head and onto the page.
This movie is based on a fragment of story my grandfather told me when I was sitting at his feet. He fought in the First World War. His name was Alfred Hubert Mendes, and he went to war in 1917. He was a messenger on the front lines, and he was given the job of carrying the message from post to post along the front line because he was 5'4", and the mist on no man's land hung at 5.5 feet, so he couldn't be seen above the mist when he ran. And I started with this fragment, really.
Stay low. Cut. Very good.
Cut there.
When I read the script for the first time, I felt like it was an amazing dream that he had been holding on for such a long time. And we all kind of felt the same emotion of what we were about to go into.
I want to say how wonderful it's been to watch everybody be so collaborative across so many different departments, and that's the nature of this film. And it's very moving for me personally to watch it happen.
This was a totally different project. And everybody on the crew that I ever talked to said they never expected to work on anything like this.
Wait just before it's dying, and you'll know because of the position in the sky.
I thought, how is he going to render one shot and tell a compelling story in real time?
The whole point is as you're standing, they'll get on and then you'll go.
And then seeing Sam work with it and seeing it become one shot
Slow down, slow down.
made me think he should donate his brain to science. He's very smart. I think they should study him.
And go!
It's filled with all the insight and heart and emotion because for him this has been such a profoundly personal story.
You go a little faster, Charlie go a little slower. That way when we come out, we're looking straight down.
He's just a genius. He really, really, really is. And he's brilliant at what he does. And I am honestly thankful that I'm part of a film. That means so much to him. It was brilliant to work with him.
He's always been passionate on every film I've been on with him. I mean, that's why I love working with him.
He always kept inspiring us, and the key was his inspiration and just the willingness to do something like this.
So it's at that point you need to be sort of drifting in. Gotcha. It'll take a couple of seconds before you do, but if you start there, there's a natural gap in the frame between those two trees.
There were many people who died because of the war, but there were also many men who survived. One of them told me the stories that made this movie happen, and they never left me.
This movie was so very personal to Sam. He wanted to make you feel that you are in the trenches with those young men and what that experience of war was from their POV.
I feel that it's the duty of one generation to hand on the stories of the previous generation so that we understand history, and I take that very seriously because this generation sacrificed for something larger than themselves. And the nature of that is behind everything. That's really what the story is.